G'day, that's Slot Car Guy here, and welcome back to another slot car review. And it is Carrera's turn. It's the latest Porsche 911 RSR, and it is in the awesome pink pig livery. So stick around, full unboxing, full test lab. So let's check out Carrera's latest 911 RSR. So welcome back to another slot car review, and a massive thank you to Armchair Racer for sending me the brand new Porsche 911 RSR in the pink pig livery. I absolutely love this design. I've always been a fan of the pink pig. It looks unique. I think pink looks amazing on any race car, but this is truly awesome. But let's have a quick talk about the packaging. I have taken the big clear case off because of the reflection of my camera and my lighting, but let's have a quick look at it. Now, if you're brand new to Carrera, the black base means evolution and the blue base normally means digital. And what I mean by that is this whole entire plastic casing itself would be blue or black. And also at the back here in the window, and I'll see if I can get a zoom in, will say Evo or digital. This is an evolution car, non-digital car, but you can fit a digital chip. Also, I love that reflection at the back, because if you do display your slot cars, you can see both sides of the car. Really cool touch. Let's quickly spin it around. I won't spend too much time on the packaging, but in the rear, this window, you have some spares, some spare braid, and you actually got some spare side mirrors, which is really cool. And of course, as the warning as always, don't use this on a 2/30 degree banked corner. So let's zoom in, take a close look at the livery. We'll do a full teardown. I actually will measure the magnetic downforce of the motor, and then I'm keen to see how quick this thing goes around the track. So let's have a quick look at the livery and a teardown. Alrighty, so let's take a look at this very, very unique livery, but absolutely stunning slot car by Carrera. And before we look at the livery, I'm an absolute fan of Porsche, and I think Carrera knocked it out of the park with this actual molding of the 911 RSR. I do own a couple of the other liveries, but I could not pass up on this one. Really good looking slot car. Let's start on the driver's side. So we do have a half figure in there. I think he's cut off around about the armpits. And I'm going to try and zoom in for you guys to have a good look. But I do love how they do the roll cage. You still got a lot of detail in there for a half figure cockpit, and also the wraparound seat. I don't know if you can see that, but you can see the sticker on the side of his sports seat almost wraps around his helmet. Really cool touch. Keep in mind, Carrera do mass produce these cars, so the amount of detail they're getting on them for a highly produced slot car is pretty incredible. Let's stick to the side. I'll just quickly spin around. These mirrors have a bit of a reflective sticker on them, so they do mirror what's behind them. Not very well, but I like that touch in there. It's really, really cool. We'll stick to the side again. I love these side steps. Look at that. Massive, absolute huge side steps on these cars. And then the air intake on the side is a bit of plastic, which is okay. It would be nice if that was cut open for maybe some active aero, we can call it, but that's unfortunately a bit of hard black plastic, but I think it still looks incredible. Let's move around to the front. Beautiful looking slot car. I love Porsche. I'm a bit biased on this because I do love Porsche, but in the bonnet themselves, they've got a nice little air scoop here, which is actually cut out. So I'll try and zoom in on that, but that's actually cut out. And the pink might come across a little bit darker on camera, but it is a nice light, proper pink pig color. So if you look at a pig, this is what you'll be looking at in real life. Does that make any sense? I don't know. Let's flip it around, look at the bonnet again, and we do have some more cutouts. They're actual cutouts, which is really, really cool. I'll see if I can zoom in on those. Proper cutouts. Lots of decals on this, lots of decals on this. Incredible how much design and effort they've put into it. Round to the passenger side, sorry, exactly the same as the driver's side, but I do love how they've gone blacked out rims with the Carrera branding. Tyres, really, really fits well. Let's go right around to the rear, and look at that. Look at the rear diffuser. That's aggressive. And that actually might affect the racing. Again, I'm not an aero guy, but that looks like it might do something. Nice little flick on the bonnet, well, it would be the bonnet because the rear engine on the boot. And this massive Porsche branded rear spoiler. Look at that. And also, they've actually done the branding underneath as well. Pretty cool touch. Nice little twin exhaust in the center, so some more detail at it, and a nice little tow hook as well next to the exhaust in red. If we go back around to the front, they have indented a little tow hook. That's part of the molding itself. I'll see if I can zoom right in on that, but we might start blurring out. So again, really, really good detail and some little aero flicks on the front. Really good looking slot car. The thing I do like most about this, I think I'm going to say, is how much of the rear is missing, and it's all diffuser. That's such an aggressive look. As you can see on the side here, a lot of the rear bodywork is missing, and I'm guessing it's going to be the same as the real car. Beautiful looking slot car, absolutely stunning. Rightio, so let's get stuck into the tear down. We'll do a test of the motor's downforce, and then I'm really keen to see how quick this goes around my track. Alrighty, so I've removed the shell from this chassis. Very simple, 4 screws only, but I'm guessing most people watching this will have some kind of Carrera car in their collection, so the teardown will be very familiar. But let's move the chassis and talk about the inside of the shell very, very quickly. Very narrow, shallow but long cockpit, but also this little grille at the front here. Nice little bit of printed plastic. Not photo etch, but a bit of printed plastic for the grille, and I'll quickly show that off. And a tidbit on the actual livery that they've used on this car. Of course, this is the throwback to the Pink Pig, the 917/20 from 1971. And this exact car was released in 2018 in this livery. So really, really cool throwback. I'm glad they did it because I think it suits this shape of car very, very well. Now let's talk about the chassis because there's a little bit going on. But again, most people will probably have a Carrera car in their collection. So we'll go through it quickly. Of course, front and rear lights, really good to see on any slot car. I do like that. This bit of mess going on here is the Evolution circuit board. Of course, can be replaced and a digital chip can be installed in exactly the same spot. Now we'll flip it over and you'll see this little plastic window that will pop out and a sensor light will be shone through there, and you've got a light switch here to turn the Evolution and digital on, which I'll quickly show you. This is what a digital car will look like once it's installed, and as you can see the little flashy light and a little switch. So there you go. We'll continue on. Let's talk about the motor, what's running this beautiful thing. We've got an S-CAN motor, 18,000 RPM, and of course Carrera runs at 14 volt. So I reckon it's going to go pretty damn good, and it's an inline motor. At the rear, we've got a 9-tooth pinion and a 27 spur gear tooth, so a nice little combination there. Tyres, they are rubber tyres, front and rear. Look, these are hit and miss. On my truck, I've had pretty good success with these tyres, but of course, any car can go faster with aftermarket tyres. And if we flip it upside down, we do have, you might not be able to see that. Let's go with the rear one first. We've got a rear bar magnet here. So this is a car with a magnet, and we've got a very long bar magnet just across the front of the motor here, which hopefully you can see the shine on that. So there we go. So not a bad slot car. Again, these are mass produced and I think they do a really good job and they perform really well out of the box. So let's bring out SRC's UMS. Let's measure the downforce of the motor, then let's get this thing around my track. So I've set up SRC's UMS device. I've zeroed out the scales and let's check the magnetic downforce of this motor. Now I'll try and find the center to get the max reading, and that's about it. And we're looking at 31.79 grams. 31.79 grams. And let's, while we're here, weigh the car itself. And what does the car weigh? And I've got all screws in, the bodies are fixed to the chassis itself, and we're looking at 107 grams. Alrighty, so let's throw this thing around my track. I'm actually pretty confident this might be a quick car, and this is going to be the first Carrera car I've had on the test track with an official timing. So let's get stuck into the hot lap. So how did Carrera's brand new Porsche 911 RSR Pink Pig perform around my track? Well, this thing is an absolute weapon. It did a 10-second flat, and I'm actually seriously surprised because Carrera do mass produce their cars. They do a lot of cars, and you know what? It just shows quality, design, it's all still there, and it's seriously quick. 10 seconds, an effortless 10 seconds. I'm a little bit blown away. I did have a question thrown at me on how do I set up my test laps, because some people have said you could go faster. Yes, this car would definitely dip into the 9s if I gave it a lot more laps. The way I set my cars up is I take them straight from the base onto the track. I may do 1 or 2 braking laps just to get used to the car, get the tyres worn in a fraction, and then I go for it. I always try and achieve 5 clean laps. If I do have a crash within one of the laps, I cancel that race and I go again until I get 5 clean laps. So I do acknowledge that these cars could go faster, but every car that I've put on this board would also go faster given the time. So these are genuine test laps, but I'm seriously blown away. And of course, it's the second fastest car on my track, but it's the first Carrera car I've done. So I'm pretty impressed. And I think this board's just going to get faster and faster. So hats off to you, Carrera. You've made a very, very fast Porsche. And of course, thank you, Armchair Racer, for sending it to me. But as always, at that slot car guy on Instagram, please check me out there. I do put up photos of all the cars that I race. And I also will try and do a live stream very soon on both Instagram and YouTube, showing off my collection and just having a general chit chat. But thanks everyone for liking and subscribing, and please keep the comments coming, and anything you want me to do different, let me know, because I'm always reading and trying to respond to any comment on both Instagram and YouTube. So as always, take care guys. Ciao.